Hey dudes, I'm Hyla, and today on Hyla Cooking, I'm making taco pockets. What's a taco pocket? It's like a hot pocket, but homemade and filled with taco meat and beans and cheese. Even though it sounds like it's a euphemism for a vagina, it's not. We'll start making the dough. I've got some warm water here. It should feel like kind of like warm bath water. Like I think about 110 to 100, yeah, about 110 degrees Fahrenheit is good. You don't want it hotter than that because then it'll kill the, God, I can't talk today, kill the yeast. I'm gonna add a little bit of sugar, like a teaspoon of sugar, because that's what yeast eats. Ooh. Just stir this around to get it a little bit dissolved. And all the ingredients are down below in the description box and also on my website if you want a printable recipe card. I'm gonna add the little packet of yeast. Let me just, yeah, that's good. Good temp. And we're gonna let this sit for just a couple minutes to proof the yeast, and that's just to sort of double check that your yeast isn't dead, it hasn't been sitting on the shelf too long or something, or maybe you boiled it to death if your water was too hot. So we'll just let this sit, and then in about 5 minutes it should look kind of foamy, and we can add the flour and make the dough. All right, once it looks a little foamy and bubbly, we're gonna add the flour. I'm using bread flour. This is basically like a pizza dough. If you can't find bread flour, you probably could use regular all-purpose flour, but I think you'll get a better flavor and a better texture if you find some bread flour. It's got a higher protein, so it makes more like chewy bread. Okay, so we're gonna add almost 3 cups. Whenever you're doing any kind of yeasted dough, it's always better to err on the side of too wet than too dry. So measure your flour, but then don't put all of it in, then mix it up. And then if you need to add a little bit more, then you can. So I'm gonna start this with my spatula. Okay, I think this is actually gonna be pretty great. So I'm just gonna turn this mixer on and let the dough hook work its dough hooker magic for about 5 minutes. You can also knead it by hand if you don't have a stand mixer, but let's see. And if I need to add some more flour, I'll just add a little bit at a time. Oh, I'm gonna add our salt too. Okay. It's already starting to pull together into a nice ball, so I think we have a good amount of flour, so I'm just gonna come back in about 5 minutes. Okay. Okay, this dough ball looks perfect. Basically, you're just waiting for it to sort of pull free of the bowl, and it's a little soft, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna drizzle it with a tiny bit of oil, or more than a tiny bit, whatever, and kind of get this dough ball coated in the oil, just to help it, not dry out, and let it rise while we make our filling. So for the filling, I'm gonna do a ground beef filling. You can totally use like just sliced ham and cheese or something like that if you wanna simplify it a little bit, and they won't exactly be taco pockets, but they'll still be good. Okay, so we're gonna go over to the stove. I'm gonna heat up just about a teaspoon of oil in my skillet over medium high and start sauteing some onions with some cumin and some chili powder. And once that starts to get a little soft and it's really fragrant, we're gonna add in some garlic and some serrano chilies. We'll add in the lean ground beef. I like to use a lean one for this recipe, and break that up and crumble it up a little bit, let that start cooking. We're gonna add some salt and pepper and a little bit of salsa. And the salsa, the moisture in the salsa is gonna help break up the ground beef into even smaller crumbles so it fits into our pockets better. You can use water too if you don't have salsa, or even like a little chicken broth would probably be fine. Once the beef is all cooked and everything's cooked and everything's ready to go, we're gonna add in, at the very end, some refried beans. And then just set that aside and let it cool off while we roll out the dough. All right, so our dough has risen a little bit. If you wanted to make this ahead of time, you could make the dough and then refrigerate it for like 24 hours, and then put together the hot pockets when you're ready. Try to get it as even as possible, of course, about 8 pieces. Ooh, I love it. It feels so spongy and fluffy. And I wanted to do this recipe because I know a lot of people have like a New Year's resolution to, you know, bring lunch to work to save money or to eat healthy or whatever. And this isn't, I mean, I wouldn't call this like healthy exactly, but you can make them ahead of time and then just microwave them, you know, at work. So I had a couple of slash